Episode 2. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stopping by to listen for a little while. My name's Angel Cortez. I am the owner of OG Pumpkin, and this is the OG Pumpkin podcast. Today, I have two guests, and Ryan. But Ryan's kind of like he's like my Jamie. He's there, and he'll talk whenever he wants to. But first guest, introduce yourself.
My name is Dick Loza. I was a Army Ranger, C Code 375 from got to battalion 2002, got out in 2005, and right now I just mainly line dance and owner of hashtag Body by Dick.
Everyone's favorite Uncle Dick.
Yeah, that's right. What's up, guys? I'm Eric. I served with Loza actually in 3rd Battalion, 375. I don't own anything. I'm just glad to be here.
Dude, well, I'm glad you guys can make it because there's a list of people that I want to be on the podcast. Because the big podcasts out there that are veteran owned, they're great podcasts, and we all listen to them and have listened to hours and hours of them. But in some instances, it's almost like the same guys over and over, right? And there's a lot of stories out there, and some of them, everyone has a story. And I've always liked what you guys have been doing. Dick, do you remember how we met?
Yeah.
Where did we meet?
It was at the screening of that documentary War Dogs, where we kind of crashed it.
Yeah.
We were invited, but we weren't supposed to be invited.
Yeah, right. Somebody fucked up, and they put a link on a Ranger Facebook page saying like, "Hey, RSVP for tickets at the Sunset Boulevard fucking world premiere of a HBO documentary called War Dogs that follows special operation dogs, and most of them were killed, right? Some of them were still alive.
Yeah, it was like the story with the dog with the handlers.
Yeah, and then but almost as quickly as it was up, the link was gone. So but for the dude who got a ticket, they got a ticket. So you got a ticket, I got a ticket. I told Ryan Northup, the 275 guy, because we were going to school at the same time together. I was like, yo, you want to go? I'll get you a ticket. So we were literally at school all day studying. We were in regular clothes, and I look up the address, and I didn't put two together, right? I was like, okay, yeah, it's in LA. We're gonna go to LA. We get there at Sunset Boulevard, and everyone's dressed to the fucking nines, bro. I'm talking about nines. Like, I walk up to the table, and immediately they're like, excuse me? And I'm like, oh, yeah, we got tickets? They're like, look at me like, you don't got no tickets. And I show them on the phone, and the lady was like, shocked, like, okay, you got tickets. And immediately I look at Ryan. Ryan looks at me like, bro, you didn't tell me this was fucking tuxedo night. And who was producing the documentary?
Channing Tatum.
Yeah, so he was there. His wife was there. Whether he brought them or not, but fucking boatload of hoes were there for him. And you can tell because they were dressed to the nines, all very attractive women all to the side, just waiting to get the chance to talk to him. So we go, we watch the documentary. We're to the left and to the right, front and the back of Ryan and I. There's people in fine dresses and tuxedos, and I was just like, oh my god, thank god it's gonna get dark. They're gonna show this thing because I feel so underdressed. Then it ends. Channing Tatum goes on and he gives a little speech. All the hoes are like, yeah, Channing Tatum. And they're like, all right, reception at the end, whatever, And I'm just like, man, do you want to go? And he's like, I don't know, man. Ryan's like, I don't know. So we go, and I go full in. I'm like, I'm either gonna go into this hallway with everyone dressed to the nines. I'm either gonna be tucked in the corner, or I'm gonna fucking go all in. So I walked up to one of the waiters, grabbed a glass of wine, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going out, dude. I know I don't fit in. Fuck it. And maybe it was 15 minutes, and I look across, and I see Dick. And Dick's got, which is jeans, a shirt, but a Ranger hat. And I remember being like, oh, somebody that isn't dressed to the nines. I go up to you, and we're like, bro, how the fuck did you know about this? Did you talk to the fucking Chanum?
No, I don't know. I was like same as you. So I got invited through the Darby Project. I was kind of sent to like be like the face
Yeah.
of the Darby Project, and I was, taking pictures. Like I'm here representing Darby Project and whatnot. But same thing. Like they didn't tell me that it was gonna be like tuxedo night either.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like a Ranger thing, and yeah, I just show up. I had the shirt from Scroll Factory that had like the Ranger tab in the front and then Scroll in the back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I was dressed like that. Like I always have like Ranger swag because I feel like that's how I meet fucking random Rangers.
Yep.
Because it's like throwing up a flag and shit. And I was like the same way. I didn't know anybody there because it was movie stars or freaking non-Rangers mostly. But yeah, having that shirt, like Rangers started coming up to me. So like you came up to me. Miles Grantham was randomly there, and I served with him. And so yeah, he came up to me, and in that conversation, I even ran into one of my RIP cadres, and yeah, man, it was a fun night, but I was kind of lost, just as you were.
Yeah. Yeah. And then because of you on your feed, I saw Eric, and it was just like, I want to say not that long. I think it was like the week of or whatever that you just won. What did you win in Jiu Jitsu?
I don't remember the specific tournament.
It was a big one though.
Yeah,
Probably Worlds.
could have been.
Right. So you won worlds in your division, right?
Yeah, my div age and belt.
Yeah. So that was fucking dope. I remember being like, damn, because I compete at the time. I only competed in training and kickboxing. So seeing another Ranger actually train and fucking win at worlds, I was like, oh shit, dude, like that's fucking dope. So I'd known that way about you, and then I met you at a dick event, right?
Yeah, I think so. One of the, was it Memorial Weekend or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we talked for the first time. And the reason, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the main reasons is that, dude, I noticed right away is that you put a lot of time and energy into events in Southern California, right, for years. And I've been doing it since I got out, but you've been doing it double or triple that amount of time. What has it been like, and what have you seen? What have you noticed?
So it's been a work in progress. It started with like I just fucking needed friends, and so I got out in 2005. I didn't start doing this till I think it was like 2010. I think the Veterans Day barbecue was the first time. So I bought my house 2010, September 2010, and then I did a Veterans Day barbecue, and like I already knew that it was gonna be like a yearly thing, and called it like yearly Veterans Day barbecue at Richard Loza's house. And that year I had like a handful of people. It was just a table, like one freaking table, and a couple Rangers that came. Eric came. Cheese came late as fuck, but he ended up showing up. But it was just a handful of Rangers and like people from high school.
Yeah.
And then 2011, I went. I mean, I just came back from Ranger Rendezvous last night, but 2011 was the first time I went to a Ranger Rendezvous, and that year I linked up with a fuck ton of Rangers that I served with that I hadn't seen since 2005.
And what's Ranger Rendezvous?
So Ranger Rendezvous happens every 2 years, and that's the change of command of Ranger Regiment. So that's why they do Ranger Rendezvous. But for those of us that have been out, it's pretty much just hanging out with guys that you haven't seen. They have events. They have like freaking sports, jumps, and those of us that are out, like we're just seeing like the guys that are in, seeing how they've evolved, like their new weapon systems and whatnot. But it's just like shooting the shit with guys that you haven't seen. And so that year I linked up with a bunch of guys that I served with, and it felt good. Like it just, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't link that to like this Ranger Rendezvous of how important 2011 was for me and the guys that I met and like staying connected. So after that, like I just wanted to like freaking get guys together, and I did the Facebook group. Me, Matt Sanders, and Stephen Bell. We did a Secret Squirrel group for like Southern California Rangers, and it was just to just post on there whatever the hell you want to do. We did. There were some guys that are into baseball, so they're like, "Hey, who wants to go to a baseball game?" And so like, we'll link up, tailgate, just freaking hang out, lingerie, football, paintball in or whatnot. And it was just to have an excuse to like link up with guys. And a few months after Ranger Rendezvous 2011, one of the guys that was there that I served with, Johnny Dubal, he passed away from diabetes. So it was like less than a year after, and at his service again, like I saw a bunch of Rangers, like we were there for his service and shit. And since then, I was like, everyone always makes an excuse to like not hang out. Like the only times that we get together is when we're burying someone.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's wrong. And a lot of the conversation was like, man, like I wish, like, you know, he called me or whatever, and like I didn't answer, or it was just like a lot of like I wish I could have hung out more. I, you know, wish I would have made time. So I don't want to be the guy with that regret. Like I don't want to be like fuck. I would say, I don't know, horrible accident happens to you. Like I don't want to be like, oh man, he invited me to like go roll, and then like, you know, I didn't want to drive the 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So yes, I've been setting up this event just to have people around me basically, and to me it's just like I said, like I just want to have people around me, people that I like, and I didn't realize like what an impact it's having till like I'm getting all this recognition from other people.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah,
people are seeing the hard work.
Yeah, people are seeing all that, and like to me, I'm like, I kind of just want to hang out.
Yeah. I just want to hang out, man.
Yeah, I just want to hang, because it's good for me, man. Like it's like mentally is good for me to be around you guys, and like be around people that I like and that like me and shit.
Yeah. No, of course, man. And some of the events, like, what is the smallest number of people that have come to an event?
So that first barbecue, we probably had like 12 people.
And then now what is it looking like?
So like this
What's the biggest one?
The biggest one? Shit, I don't fucking know. So what our Veterans Day barbecue peaked, I want to say like 2014 or some shit. I was in KMS, and that year we had to move the barbecue to another Ranger buddy's house that had, I don't know, like 2 acres of land. More. I just live in a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
So that year it was kind of like it had already gained traction with like freaking Rangers and shit, and then also being in the motorcycle club, like it had like freaking motorcycle guys coming in. So that one, I don't know. You remember that in Cody's house?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was a shit ton of people.
Yeah, like 60, 70, maybe more.
Yeah, it was a lot. But then I had to scale it back because started getting to what do I want to say? It was like swerving to like another direction because of the motorcycle club.
Yeah.
It was kind of turning into like a club event. They wanted to like make a profit out of it, like freaking sell like drink tickets and shit like that. And I'm like, that's not cool. Like when I invite people over, like I want to provide everything.
Yeah, like there's times for that, but you're not trying to make that be
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. So then I got out of the club, and then like I scaled it back to whatever smaller groups, just people that I could afford to like feed and shit.
All out of your pocket.
It was all, yeah, everything was out of my pocket. And then recently, the Gallant Few and the Darby Project, like they helped me out, sponsoring my events. So that's what the Patriot Challenge. That's why I'm so involved in the Patriot Challenge.
Yep.
So
And what is that?
so the Patriot Challenge is a fundraiser for the Gallant Few, where we form teams, and collectively we have to run 565 miles. Well, it could be run, walk, bike, whatever. You just have to move and raise funds, try to get sponsorships for the Gallant Few. And they implemented an incentive program where anything over $1,000 that you raise, they'll like give you back like 50% for like events or other stuff. So this last time that you guys were on the team, we raised a little bit over $6,000.
Nice.
Yeah, so that gives me like $2,500 towards these events to, like, you know, buy food. It's like, because it costs a lot of money to freaking
Rangers eat, dude.
to feed 40 people. That's a lot of money,
bro. And Rangers eat. I remember because so my dad's a taco guy for a lot of these events. He planned. He's like, I think you said 50 or 40. Let's just say 40. He's like, I bought food for 40, but they eat so much, I had to go buy more food. They're like, so he's like, so now anytime it's a Ranger event, that dude's like, yo, double up the meat, man, 'cause these motherfuckers love the protein. And when, so you guys served together at this regiment, but when did you link up with him?
Honestly, I don't even remember how we came in contact again after battalion.
I don't remember.
If it was online or I don't know.
It might have even been the first Veterans Day barbecue.
I don't even remember how I found out about it.
I don't know how you found out about it either. Cause during that time, like like our social media presence wasn't.
Yeah.
We weren't really interacting much.
Plus, I just think social media in general it's so, you know, people interact so much.
Yeah.
You might have like a Facebook or a MySpace or whatever, but like now people are talking and having conversations and linking up more. They're like, social media has become more of a normal thing.
Yeah. I had no clue that there was this many Rangers in SoCal until they started that group. And I didn't even recognize him when I saw him. I was like, dude, he looks so different in the military. Like, big old glasses, you know, like super nerdy. His teeth were all busted, and he was skinny. And then you look at him now, and he has these beautiful teeth, and a beautiful smile.
Dude, every time he shows them, I want to hide mine, bro. Mine are crooked and shit. I'm like, bro, that fool's got you put some money into it. So.
You gotta invest in yourself, man.
What a turnaround, right?
and so you've always done jiu-jitsu, even in regiment, or?
I did combatives in regiment. I love combatives. Like for PT, that was always my, you know, I'd get excited, but my squad hated it, so we didn't get to do it a lot. I wrestled in high school a little bit, and that's kind of where I got the like the base or the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the military, I did have a super tough time transitioning out, and it was weird, like, you know, being in such a, you know, kind of like almost elevated position where people look at you, you know, in a higher standard. And then I got home and I partied too hard and let the demons get to me. And so like within a year or 2 years after regiment, it was like bad for me, you know?
Here?
And, yeah, I was in LA. Yeah. I also linked up with guys, cause it's crazy. Like when you're in and being in Georgia and being from LA, you want to go home and you miss your friends. You miss, you know, everything we have here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I linked up with the wrong people, you know, people from high school. That's like that what I was getting away from, you know,
Yeah.
when I went to the military. Like I was never in like gangs, but I always hung out with people in gangs, and I was like always exposed to a lot of drugs and, you know, doing bad shit. And then I got out and I was just like so glad to be home that I just fell back into that, you know? And man, I hit a low point. I don't did we know each other when I was no, not yet.
No.
So I had like I lost all my body weight. Like I probably weighed 140, you know, and I was like 6 feet tall, and I looked like shit. I ended up, you know, needing help, you know, and then I kind of, it was just one day I had an epiphany. I looked in the mirror and, you know, I just like my body had deteriorated and I felt like shit and embarrassed, and I felt like I let everyone down, you know, because they looked at me in a high level. And so I just made that decision from that day on that I was gonna never let that happen to me again, you know, and I decided to start working out and lifting. I just basically committed everything to that, like going to the gym and trying to get as big as I could because I was so small. So then I basically, that's all I did was commit myself to the gym, and I think after like 2 years I hit like 210 from 140.
So you were this full size?
I was,
We swapped.
Yeah, so he was the skinny one and I was the jacked one.
Yeah.
And so I was like that for a while. I was like super committed, you know, into fitness. That was like what kind of helped bring me out, you know, my family support, you know, kind of going back to church too. But fitness really, I put in myself all in.
Yeah.
You competed, didn't you?
No.
No.
But so after doing like the fitness thing for a while, I started teaching a strength and conditioning class at a fighting gym where I live.
Yeah.
And they had jiu-jitsu there. So like I was like, oh man, that shit looks like wrestling, you know? And I just started training there because they let me train for free because I was a coach there. And I just fell in love day one. And it hasn't stopped since, you know? And so I like it a lot. It keeps me in check. And so I think it's been about 6 or 7 years that I've taken jiu-jitsu serious. And it kind of sucks because ever since jiu-jitsu came in, then I kind of like lost all my size again, you know? Like,
But you know better though.
yeah.
Dude, it's like today on strength and conditioning, my coach, so I deadlifted 235, right? So I'm 150, so I was like fucking 235. I was like, fuck yeah. He's like, how do you feel, dude? I was like a fucking god, man. I was like, when I lift, I feel fucking, you know, you got that fucking pump, you feel great. And then, but I was like, but because I know better, I know that martial arts is superior. He's like, but I can't help it. Like you feel and you look, but then you know that a martial artist can kick this dude's ass.
Yeah.
So, you feel stronger?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm more, you know, it's funny because he's so big, right? And everyone's scared of him, but you know, he just started jiu-jitsu. But we were talking about how it's like when you're big, you don't even really need to know how to fight because you're just intimidated. Everybody's intimidated from you, you know?
Yeah.
But like in reality, right? We know what's superior technique, and if you have a skill set, you know. That's why you always got to watch who you fuck with. You never know who knows.
Dude, nowadays,
Yeah.
for sure. Like there's today is the highest percentage of people who train ever in the history of humans. You don't know who the fuck you're running into, man. Because I remember jiu-jitsu guys, I would spar jiu-jitsu guys, and I would feel safe. I knew like, hey, well, don't let them hit you in the face, but like I felt safe. I was like, I'm not gonna get knocked out. I can try something crazy. But they look like kind of almost like nerds, right? But then when I rolled for the first time with somebody, dude, the same guy that I used to have my way with, there was not 1 second of me fucking being offensive. It was pure survival. It was 5 minutes of me questioning myself, like, what the fuck is going on right now? I'm getting my ass handed to me. I don't know what he's doing, but I know my arm doesn't go that way, so let me just pull it back into my fucking, center. So you trained jiu-jitsu for a long time. I just picked it up, right?
Dude, I'm so stoked that my like homies are picking it up. It's the coolest thing, you know, when you love something so much and then somebody like close, you know, does it. It's like, I get excited. He told me he started. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Angel's doing it. Fuck
Yeah, because I was like, so I broke my foot, my last fight, 2018. Took all 19 to recover, and then 2020 COVID hits. But Annalea, my wife, was like, "Are you gonna keep fighting?" I was like, if I don't do this, I'm gonna do something else. Like I'm gonna replace it. I need this high. I need some type of high, some type of something to challenge me physically, mentally. And she's like, "What about jiu-jitsu?" Because my kids were doing jiu-jitsu. And I was like, all right, let me try it. So I went to my first gi class, and that's when the dude who I used to spar with had his way with me. And I remember just going home feeling like and Elie's like, how'd the class go? All happy. Meanwhile, dude, on the inside, I just feel so bad. I'm like, am I even a man? Dude, like, I just got, like, my ass handed to me all round. I'm supposed to be this striker, fighter, fucking former ranger, been to war. I can't grapple for shit, dude. But I was like, you know what? But if they can do that, I can do that too. So, okay, maybe this is it, dude. And then I went to another class, and next thing you know, dude, like since January of this year, I've taken it serious. I mean, I've competed twice, placed second, and then third on the last one. I feel like I should have got first, but I got DQ'd for slamming that dude, whatever. And then the dude who I got DQ'd with took it all.
Yeah.
So he was all up on the first place podium, just like big old smile. And I was just like looking at him like, bro, I was fucking you up before that. but then Dick started. So you see this dude training for 6 years.
I was trying to convince him, I think, too, throughout that whole time.
How many times?
You kind of stop after a while, because it's like I don't want to be that guy. But I mean, probably everyone that in my life, I think that doesn't train, I for sure have asked them like 2-3 times, like, when are you gonna come train?
Yeah,
it's one of those things where there has to be a reason why you want to try it, because no one just is gonna want to try jiu-jitsu because it looks so crazy. Like you're just too close to someone. They're sweating on you. You're sweating on them. The smells and everything that, training from sweating and everything, it's not a pleasant, thing.
Yeah.
But you don't know how, like, you can fall in love with it, but you just got to try it, and
like, even with all that, you don't give a fuck. You're like, I don't care.
Yeah. It's like, I have people sweating in my eyes and in my mouth, and now I don't even wipe it away. I'm like, electrolytes.
So what made you, what happened?
So I actually trained jiu-jitsu for about a year in high school, like my senior year of high school. And I honestly believe that's what got me into Regiment. Because, like he was saying, like, I was a small freaking, just a dweeb.
Yeah.
With glasses and a fucked up mouth and just really skinny.
Bro, you're like a movie.
I look like
he's like a movie, dude. He's describing something he doesn't look like, and then now he's, look at him.
I look like a long distance runner, but like I sucked at running. Like I only maxed the run once in the military, and that's what, a 13-minute 2-mile or less. I only did that once, but I was weighing like under 140, so like I looked like I could run.
Yeah.
But I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I wasn't strong at running. I was a fucking dweeb. Like I wasn't athletic, no hand-eye coordination. But that 1 year of like jiu-jitsu, and so I got it in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
So that 1 year from 2000 to 2001, before everyone knew jiu-jitsu, how in RIP you had, what is it, like King of the Mountain or whatever the fuck they used to call it, where you freaking pretty much have like a little tournament. See who's a top dog. Yeah, so freaking I was unassuming and shit, and nobody knew cross-collar choke, so I was cross-collar choking and freaking sleeve choking my way to the top. So I liked it, and then in battalion, like, when we would do it for PT, like I was pretty good. I was the little guy, but I wasn't getting trampled. I always liked it. And then I got out. I actually tried to train. I want to say like 2000. 2008, I think. I got out in 2005, so like 3 years later, I went shopping for gyms. When I was in high school, it was like $40 a month. So when I got out, everyone was like $80 a month. I was like, hell nah.
Yeah, now even more, man. Some
Yeah.
gyms are 150 a month.
Yeah, that's what I'm paying now.
Fuck.
But so yeah, I was looking for gyms. So I was like, I guess that's the price now. So I was training at Millennium in Rancho. But during that time, I had a baby. Well, I had Jendi, so I had a kid. I was going to school. I was working, and then I had a baby on the way. And then the baby was born, and I was like, I need to give something up. So then I stopped training. I wasn't even consistent with it anyways. So like I wasn't training to fight. I wasn't trying to compete. It was more like a hobby, and like I wasn't going every day. So it was easy to give it up. Now my kids are grown. I've been wanting to get back into rolling because like I did like it, but so I had a work accident 6 years ago in 2015. So like my arm almost got freaking amputated and shit, and my femur shattered. I have a freaking hole in my back, and it took me a long time to recover from that, like years and years and years. And I put work into it because I wanted to recover. Like I didn't want to milk it. I put a lot of work to recover, but I know what being injured is like, and I don't like being injured. And this fool's always hurt. You broke your foot. Everyone that I know that rolls is always hurt. Like I'm like, hey, freaking come join my team. Like we're gonna do this team run. And they're like, dude, I blew out my knee freaking doing jiu-jitsu. So my fear was like getting hurt. I like it, but I don't want to get hurt. And that was my excuse the whole time. And then recently he put into perspective that so I've been avoiding injuries because I fucking hate it. For my birthday, we went to Mexico, and me and him went hiking. There's this hill, nothing hard, like it's a family park.
Yeah.
So this hill like zigzags to get to like the flagpole and shit at the top, and on those zigzags, on those turns, there's steps. Well, like 2 days before we went on this trip, I had a ranger buddy come over to work out. He was moving from Washington to Arizona, and he wanted to stop by, freaking kind of like a halfway point, crash at my house, and then gotta get a workout session in. And I was like, sure. This dude, he's freaking, at the time, he was like 250. He's 10 years younger than me. He's a big, strong dude.
Yeah.
He's got youth and strength. But, I don't want to be a bitch, so I'm just fucking trying to maintain that. But this fool kept going. And I remember at one point being like, dude, I'm going camping, man. I need to walk. Like, if I can't walk, it's your fault.
Yeah.
But, like, I fucking kept going, just smoked the fuck out of my legs. So when we went on that hike, my legs were heavy as fuck. Well, on that zigzag, I freaking tripped on a step, and I hit my leg, and it took me a minute to get up. And he had left me, like he had a freaking faster pace.
Yeah.
I was walking up like just being fucking heavy, and I'm heavy. My legs are heavy. I just wasn't moving fast. So he fucking left me. And when I fell, like I knew it wasn't just a trip. Like I was hurt. And I was even thinking like, he has to come back down, man. There's one way up, one way down. I'll just wait for him here.
Yeah.
But then I was like, nah, I gotta finish. So then I freaking dragged my ass up to the top, and I was covered in dirt.
I was up there for like 20 minutes waiting for this dude, and he was right behind
Yeah.
me, you know, and it's just the walk. So I'm waiting there, and there's a whole bunch of people up there, and they're just, everyone's like kind of staring at me, you know, because like I don't have my shirt on and I have tattoos and stuff, so they're kind of looking at me like kind of weird. And I'm just doing circles and like waiting for him to come up, because there's only one way to come up, and I keep looking, so I'm like stretching, and I look at and I don't see him coming up. I'm like, dude, should have been here already. So as I start to walk down, like I'm walking down, he's walking up, and I see him, and he's covered in dirt, like covered in dirt. And because he was sweating too, you know, so the dirt sticks even more.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, what the fuck happened? And then he told me that, you know, essentially he fell walking. So I told him, like, dude, you're going to get hurt just walking, you know? Might as well do jiu-jitsu and get hurt doing something fun.
Yeah. Dude, and not that long after that, I was like, bro, at least you get hurt doing man shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys fucking put it into perspective. Then I was like, yeah, I am being a bitch, ain't I? Fuck it. I'm signing up. Right away, I fucking signed up.
Bro, well, that's what I do. I feel like we all need that, like a group of, not accountability, man, to tell you the shit. Not just like, hey, man, you're doing a good job, but also like, hey, man, you're not doing a good job.
Yeah.
That's why, like, Ryan and I clicked, dude, because he was a ranger, right? We're at the same school, and I walk up to him like, yo, man, I was like, well, I'm fucking desperate for friends. I'm like, yo, man, I was a ranger in 175. He's like, oh, 275. And we became friends. And this is how I knew he was a good friend. Our other friend, she was a female Marine, Yadira. She's like, oh, did you sign up for your classes? I was like, yeah, but I dropped the class because, like, I don't know, I was bitching out. It was hard. Like, the first week, I was like, fuck, this class is hard. I don't want to do it. I'd rather just not do it now, and I'll do it, save it later, and get easier classes next semester. So I just have easy classes and this really hard one. And I was like, I'm just gonna drop it. And like, dude, it might not have been like 20 minutes. Ryan calls me. He's like, hey man, what you doing? I was like, oh dude, good man, just left the VRC, which is, you know, the Veterans like little resource center. And he's like, oh man, he's like, you in class? You at school? And I was like, yeah, I'm actually on the way to class. He's like, oh, and then he just like cut it. What is I hear about you dropping a class? And I was like, yeah, well, my schedule and it's a night class and this and that and you know what? I'd rather just like I won't be a full-time student this semester. He's like, oh, I see. Yeah, so why are you dropping the class then? Why you bitching out? Why are you being a bitch? I was like, he's like, dude, well, he didn't say bitch. He's more articulate than that. He was like, it's not that difficult. You can do it. You've done worse. You know better. And I remember being like, fuck, dude, like, you're right. And that's how you know people, in my opinion, are good friends, because they tell you the good shit, they BS with you, and then they tell you like shit like that. Like, bro, they call you out. Yeah. You gotta get called out. You know what I mean? I don't want yes men around me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I was able to find my group, that small group. You know, that, like how you said, accountability. I think that's kind of why I went down back into my lifestyle before the military, because I didn't have that accountability anymore. I was just glad to be free again. And it's like I got guys like Dick telling me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because a lot of people don't or can't accept that or take that, you know, being told something that they don't want to hear, but something that they need to hear. So I'm thankful that I have people like that in my life right now. Or else it'd be pretty easy to go back to fucking up again, you know? And I still have my temptations, or I still have issues, you know, like life's not perfect and stuff, but I have people in my life now that I can, you know, reach out to. And that's, if you don't have that, it's like one of the worst feelings in the world, you know?
Bro, oh, for real, man.
Yeah.
Life is more difficult when you don't have people like that. Yeah. You don't even need a lot of people. You just need maybe like one or two. You just need somebody in general.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, that's why I really admire what you've been doing. Because one of the things you told me when I first got out, they're like, bro, everyone's too cool to kick it. Nobody wants to kick it. Nobody wants to. But you will fucking drive that 1 hour. First of all, we, on a good day, we live an hour away, right? Right? You fucking, so that's 2 minimum to drive here and drive back just for a fucking UFC fight. Bro, I got family members who literally live and friends who live a fucking light away, and they're like, I don't know, what are you having? I was like, oh, it's just a fight. They're like, oh, is it like a big fight? Who's fighting? I'm like, oh no, it's just to have carne asada, and oh, okay, I'll see. And then they never fucking show up. And you and I, how far do we live?
Like an hour and a half.
Yeah, bro. So like when you guys fucking come over, I'm like, damn, dude. Like it's that type of commitment that I can't understand why people feel, bad when even people wait closer. They're like, man, these motherfuckers don't even make time. My own family members don't even make time. You know what I mean? You guys make more time than some of my family members. So I think stuff like that is very important. I admire that type of stuff, dude. So, but you're right, man. Life's not perfect, and who we kidding, dude? Like, that's what we need people. We need people like that, and to that when we slip, and everybody sleeps, I feel, to fucking check you.
Yeah.
So we all succeed and keep this going, So I feel like we have something really strong growing. The community we're doing, we got all these events coming up, and dude, I really think it's a team effort, and I think you guys are a big part of it because it requires people to have the community, right? You can't be a community by yourself. What the fuck is that? That's just, you're a loner, bro. You need people. So I mean, like today, dude, what did we do today this morning?
Got a good session in the morning. Yeah.
9 o'clock, right? So that means, what time did you start driving to my gym?
Like 7:30, 7:45.
You?
8. I snooze, except I did snooze. Yeah, I fucking set my alarm to 7 because I wanted to leave at 7:30. But my alarm went off at 7, then fucking I snoozed it. Next thing I know, my girlfriend was like, it's already 8. I'm like, fuck! Just brushed my teeth and freaking jammed out. But
bro, good session, just fucking good rounds. And dude, something about, dude, I've spent hours listening to Joe Rogan talk about this, Andy Stumps talk about Jiu Jitsu, Jocko, and I'm just like, I remember being like, bro, like, striking's better. And then like, and then like, I don't get the Jiu Jitsu thing. Like, I guess, man, you're like in fucking the gi, pajamas, whatever, bro. You got a belt, whatever, man. I guess it's cool. I get it, but now I get it, bro. Yeah. I'm so fucking. I drank all the Kool-Aid, all the Kool-Aid. I love it, dude. So the point of this is like, what has jiu-jitsu done for you?
For me personally, it's man, it's a game changer. It's one of those things that could be a little cultish, being honest. It's a little cultish. It's like you're either all in or you're not. And it's kind of cool because it gives you discipline and it holds you accountable in the fact that the things you do outside of the gym will affect you and how you perform in the gym. And when someone's trying to strangle you or bend your arm backwards or something like that, you don't want to feel like shit, going in. Yeah. You want to feel good, and that means that you have to eat healthy during the day, drink water. So if you want to do good inside jiu-jitsu, like, you have to live a somewhat healthy life outside of it. Yeah. To be successful, if you want to compete or whatever. But so it's kept me grounded. It's kept me from, I guess in a way, not doing bad things. You know.
I mean, I agree. I was talking to. He's a buddy from Josh from the gym. He would do striking mostly, and now he started doing jiu-jitsu probably way before me. Yeah, or maybe he'd been doing it the entire time. But we were saying like, dude, like jiu-jitsu checks you. Yeah. Because I used to, just be striking, and maybe after a fight, you gain some pounds. You're like, whatever. And then you just work out real hard or whatever. You're hitting pads. It doesn't matter. But when you're up just about every single fucking day rolling, you're like, you're on check now.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where you can, like, in striking, you can spar, but you can't go 100% every day. You know, you can get damage. But in jiu-jitsu, you can, for the most part. You can go 100% and spar every day. But yeah, I don't ever see myself stopping, and I get super excited every time I see someone else start, someone that I know. The chances are, like, if you know me, I've probably asked you once or twice to start training, because I know that it's a game changer, and I can't say it enough. If you've ever thought about wanting to join like a group of people, it's kind of almost like the military a little bit too. You get people from all over. I mean, you can be you can be on the mat. We have several doctors that train with us, like teachers, businessmen, lawyers, like everyone, trains. It's like in the like a military, same thing in basic training. You see people from all different states and backgrounds, and it's the same in jiu-jitsu. You get a lot of different people from a lot of different avenues in life, and I love it, man.
No, I mean, I agree. I've always said that the martial arts community is the closest thing to the military community because you're building each other up. You're physically, mentally testing yourselves. But even more, I would say that you find that more specifically in jiu-jitsu. So if you only do striking, or you're like, oh, I did a kickboxing class, and you don't really get to talk to people if the coach is yelling out combinations, and then that's it, right? Man, but in jiu-jitsu, you have conversations in between, after, you're in group chats, like, and for sure it's different. So now I get why so many people talk about it. But yeah, man, what about for you, man? So how long have you been training now for?
A month and a half.
How do you feel?
My second month. I'm fucking aching every day. No, but for me it was mainly to like kind of be included in the fucking cool guys table. when I go to your fights and shit, that you guys are all fucking talking jiu-jitsu because everybody fucking trains. I'm like just sitting there, just like on the outside watching you guys fucking,
fucking nerd out.
Yeah, fucking nerd out, and I'm just like, man, I'm not part of the group. So yeah, I don't think I've been doing it long enough yet to like get hooked. Like I like doing it. I'm having fun, and I'm doing it a lot. I'm doing like 5 days a week.
Sounds pretty hooked to me, bro. Only 5 days.
Yeah, but now I'm look at me now. I'm in the fucking cool guys table.
Dude, so besides martial arts, what do you think, or what have you done that's kind of like helped you transition, or just maybe just life in general?
Oh man, I gotta say, Loza has had a huge impact on my life, and now you recently in this recent years, I don't have that many like role models or something like that, people that you look up to. And once you leave the military, it's like you're walking with giants, these guys are legends. It's like, you're with the elite, of that this country has to offer. So sometimes like you get out and the standard falls, all these things can fall and just unexpectedly, or like you're not even thinking about it, and life happens or whatever, and you kind of lose that sometimes. And if you lose that person that, or someone that kind of holds you accountable, or that you look up to, or someone that's like kind of guidance person, mentor. And I would see Lowe's, and he would, I was at the first one, his first event, and all the ranger panties at the beach, and sometimes I didn't want to go, or I didn't feel good, or I was going through my own issues, but I always end up going, and I always felt good after being there. Being surrounded by, I guess, former Rangers or people that served in battalion or whatever in our Veterans Day, like, you forget that you once walked with those same people, it's like, I got to walk with them, and you forget, like, man, I was able to reach a pretty high level. And so then I started seeing him doing all these events, and getting people together and kind of just giving back to the community, and it kind of gave me it relit a fire for me to like start trying to give back as much as I can. So I always try to join like his teams for Patriot Challenge and Derby Project, any type of like charity I see or veteran thing going on that I'm able to do, I'll try to jump in on and support. And yeah, so it's like, it's helped me a lot being surrounded by certain people that force me to be a better person. And so, I would say, like, if you're struggling when you get out, like I struggled pretty bad, and it was, I feel like I hit my rock bottom like after the military. Most people have some kind of bad life or something. They want to escape and join the military and like, you know. And so for me, that was kind of the case. And then, but I really hit my bottom after the military.
Yeah.
So, you know, if there's people out there that struggle transitioning out, and when I got out, it was during a time where it was not, PTSD wasn't as acceptable as it is now. Now it's totally different. Like now people are more empathetic and like, okay, understanding and kind of know more what it is. But in 2007, 2008, like it was still considered a weakness, like a weak thing. Like I didn't say anything. I didn't ask for help, and I didn't, you know, I just did other things instead to numb it out. But it wasn't accepted back then. Like it was still like, you know, like, oh, you're weak if you have it. Like if you're dealing with these things, like you're weak. Because in the military, you never had these issues, right? It's weird that it comes afterwards. And so I struggled, man. I really did. But it just kind of, you just have to, honestly, the biggest thing is just reaching out for help. You know, one day, man, I was struggling, and one day I just I was driving with my mom, and I don't know why I picked this second to tell her, you know, we were just driving. I just told her like, Mom, I need help. You know, I need help. And I broke down, she broke down, and it was like the biggest relief off my shoulders. And the thing that she told me was, she's like, she was crying, but she's like, I knew there was something wrong. For the longest time, I knew something was wrong, you know, isolating myself. I'm already kind of an introvert, but like I extremely isolated myself. And it was tough, right? But after asking for help, you know, from her and my family, and they were supportive, and it was just like it's a process. It's a struggle. There's no like quick fix, you know. Try to get a good group of people around you that care about you, you know, and just making like the conscious decision that, you know, I don't want to go down the wrong path. And I actually had a roommate the guy that kind of got me back into some negative stuff. You know, he ended up passing away, and we were doing like the same things, and it was like kind of an eye opener. Like, man, I just survived Iraq and Afghanistan. To come back and to OD, like, and to pass away from something like that, for me, it would be, you know, like I didn't want that to happen. I didn't want that to be my legacy or what my family would remember of me. And so yeah, that just asking for help, reaching out for help, and finding a good group of dudes.
Which I think martial arts is the easiest way. Like if you don't want to extend the hand to like I don't know. It's weird. Like if you're not into martial arts, like where do you start? And like let's say you don't go to school, well then you don't have veterans at your school, right? So I say it's got to be martial arts. Like what other community is there that you find a good group of people that you can easily the next day basically enter, right? Because a bunch of veterans, not every veteran goes to school, so not every veteran is going to find a veteran at school. And then if you get a job at whatever, what are the chances of you finding a veteran that you can relate to? But our martial arts community, veterans are easier to make the connection, but you'll find just good people who are cops or just whatever, right? So for sure, man. But I was kind of I like that you shared that, but I'm not sure if you guys want to talk about it. But I was talking about other like maybe like psychedelics. You guys, is that something you guys want to talk about?
We could do that. Sure.
What you
don't really have that much experience with it, but
but you don't have a lot of experience, but it's perfect because you have the perspective, the unique, real perspective of somebody diving into it, and then you know whether I don't want to put words in your mouth, but however it is you felt before you started, right? So on the first episode, if you guys want to listen to, I did a professional setting ketamine, you know, they call them journeys. So 2 journeys, very powerful, very beneficial. But before that, I did DMT and mushrooms. But I would say hands down, the in a clinical setting with professionals, with the company Field Trip Health, it was the most powerful thing I've ever done in my life. And then as for you, what have you done? What has that before and after? What were your thoughts before it?
before I've done psychedelics,
Yeah.
you know, I've always been I don't mind trying new things, you know, for the most part. So just obviously I have my limits, but I've done mushrooms. I've never done DMT or ketamine or anything like that. I'd probably say I've done mushrooms maybe like
10 or 11 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned, like, because half of them were not good and the other half were. So I kind of learned what not to do.
Yeah.
But now I know, the setting that I need to be in, and, so I do it more now, I guess.
How do you feel afterwards or during it?
Oh man, it's so hard to describe, like a psychedelic trip, I guess. But everything kind of relaxes, and it's weird that what your mind chooses to focus on. Like you can just focus on a blank wall.
Yeah.
And it'll start to move or warp or change. And it's so crazy how like your mind just like will focus on that. And one time I was in the mountains camping, I think, doing shrooms. And I went to my trunk to get something out of the trunk, and then I guess I was gone for like 30 or 40 minutes. Somebody came looking for me, like, dude, what are you doing? And I was like talking to my trunk. Like I thought my trunk was like another, like portal dimension. It just like, just things like that. You just open, you're like, whoa. And it's like, you just stare into whatever. And then the next day it's a little groggy, like mentally,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't say if it's helped me in a healing way personally, because I haven't did it with that purpose. I've just usually done it just to like trip out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm more interested to do like something like you described in your first episode about the ketamine. Yeah. Like that sounds something like, some real like deep diving. I think mushrooms would probably be like surface stuff maybe, and yeah. I would consider maybe DMT and ketamine to be like
we can make it happen.
To make it be like the universe.
I'm serious. I just did an Instagram live with the people from Field Trip Health, on not the medicine portion, but the more business side. Is a SEAL who's really good friends with my friend Mike. Well, I guess I could say Adam and I are now a lot closer after this. We talked about it after, and we can make that happen if you want to.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people need to do it, and I think talking about it and sharing what happened, and others, I think, like, I feel bad for not just you guys, but for all the veterans who got out before, right? Social media wasn't there, so it wasn't as easy to make Secret Squirrel Club for Texas, for New York, for whatever. Dudes got out with no social media. Dudes got out when social media was like, when people didn't really know how to use it or what, like what it is now. But now dudes get out, and not to hate on them or anything. I don't think we should do that. If anything, we should just be happy that that's what they're going to experience, is a social media presence with groups already established, and leaders like Dick in certain areas that will host events and be like, yo, I don't fucking know you, but I guess we were in the same company, same battalion, or even in the same, we were just army together. Let's do this, right? Or just military in general. And then besides that is we all got fed fucking pills. I mean, for me personally speaking, when the first time I went to a VA appointment, the lady didn't even look up from her keyboard, and she was like, what do you want? And I remember being like, I'm in here because I want to do physical therapy. Because a lot of people don't know, but in Regiment, not only you get the cool guy gear, but you get the multi-million-dollar gym facilities. And at 175, we had not just one, but two multi-million-dollar facilities. And inside these facilities, we had physical therapists, athletic trainers, and who would take care of us. And anytime we were broken, or they would fix us. So I thought that's what the VA was going to give us. I was going to go in, and they were going to be like, oh yeah, here's your physical therapist. Laters. No, they wanted to give me pills.
Yeah.
Was that the same thing for you guys?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
I've never got any like pills prescribed to me. My only interactions with the VA are pretty much like my yearly physicals, and I'm pretty healthy.
Good, man, good. But pills have been the thing, and I think we're moving more towards psychedelics. I know. So companies are doing research with first it's mushrooms. I think mushrooms would be the first thing to go through. Ketamine is not illegal, so this is why this company knows how to use it, and it's a game changer. I don't think it's an end all be all. I think it has to be everything. First, the individual has to want to make that step, right? Because it's not that we're control freaks, but to be that vulnerable for a long time in a setting that you may not know. That's why I like how Mike was like, "Hey, I'll be there for you. Like, I won't trip with you. I'm just gonna be there sober." And he did that, man, both times. You know, spending his own personal time, and time is the most valuable thing I believe we all have, which is why I truly appreciate when you guys make that hour drive to come just fucking train,
Yeah.
right? Or just watch the UFC fights. And sometimes the fucking fights are boring. Who are we gonna kid, right? They suck, but whatever, man. You guys came to hang out. So if it helps you, man, I'll be there. I'll be there for the first one. We'll set it all up. You know, and if it's something you're interested, maybe not now, maybe later, but I think psychedelics is gonna be one of the things that we use because we need proper sleep, nutrition. You need a sense of community. Then you need purpose, and then the psychedelics. I think it's the next fucking thing. Well, not the next fucking thing. I think it's what encompasses everything and takes it to the next level. Because me, speaking personally, I got out 2016. I've been doing everything to be balanced, and I feel like I am balanced, but I always felt like there was always something else. Like, fuck, I would always ask, like, what else can I do? Because I wasn't that great in the inside. In the inside, I wasn't that great. In the outside, I was fucking killing it. A's and B's at school, training at the gym, everything's cool. No, man, but there was something, and that ketamine experience was fucking next level, man. So I'm serious. If you want to, man, we'll set it up, you know, and we'll get it going, you know. But for you, so. Dude, I've always known you as a sober guy.
It wasn't always that way. It wasn't always that way.
But you're super sober. Dude, I think I've known you since 2016. I just saw you drink alcohol for the first time this year. We're 2021. I never seen you drink alcohol. And then now you're doing mushrooms. What happened?
Yeah, man. So I've always been drug free. Like, I was fucking 31 the first time I tried an edible. That was like my first fucking experience with drugs. I've always drank. Fucking, I think the first time I got drunk, I was like fucking 13. So yeah, I fucking drank. That was kind of like my thing. Even in high school. While my friends were like freaking smoking weed and shit, like I just drank. I was always drug free, like fucking DARE program, say no to drugs.
Yeah.
Fucking this is your brain on drugs. Fucking shit worked for me. Yeah, but then just like listening to guys' stories, like mainly like freaking party stories, having fucking badass experiences, like having fun and shit. I was like, I think I'm missing out. So then I finally got to the point where I feel that I'm like mature enough to like try shit responsibly.
Okay.
If that makes sense, like trying
Dude,
drugs.
for real. It makes total sense now, bro.
Like, yeah, so I stopped. Like I said, it wasn't always that way. Before I met you, I would be a fucking raging alcoholic, and I would go through my waves. Like I'd get drunk, freaking party, have a good time, and then freaking I get flabby and shit. And it's not that easy to pick up girls when you're flabby. So then I'd go sober, just like get back in shape, freaking hit the gym real hard, go back in shape, and I'm like, but my life is boring, man. I'm just at the gym doing nothing, and then so I've always done that. But during all that, everything I've regretted has been drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done anything that I regretted while I was being sober. So like my relationships were all fucked up. Like I say mean shit You guys see me on Facebook, like.
Dude, on Facebook, dude, you might be, no, not you might be, you are the number one. I was just like, dude, I'll be in the shitter, and if I find a Facebook comment, I mean, little post, and there's like 200 comments,
Yeah.
and as soon as I see Dick Loza, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be here for a while. Dude, and it is fire, bro, fire, dude. People don't know what, and then what people don't know, this is amongst like Rangers and Facebook Ranger group pages, and just talking shit to other Rangers. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah, so I'm a mean drunk, but I'm a mean drunk to like people I love. Like if freaking hanging out, having a good time with freaking people, like I'm the outside, like I'm fucking fun guy and shit, but then say mean things to like my family, say mean things to my girlfriends and shit, fucking, then they leave me and I get lonely. So yeah, but it wasn't up until what, almost 4 years ago that I met a ranger buddy. I don't want to say his name, but so he had a problem with alcohol, and he like went sober and shit. And I started like, I got sober to like support him, like,
Yeah,
because you know when we get together it's to get drunk. So like I went sober that time to like support him, so he's not the only sober guy. So like, I was there to support him, man. And he was sober for months, and then one time we went on a Memorial Day bike ride, and he was drinking and shit, and I was like disappointed because from the outside I would see the problems it was causing him, like in his family life. When he was drunk, like I was seeing like, dude, you're not the same guy when you're drunk.
yeah,
And so that day I remember like just like looking at him just like in disappointment. He noticed that. He was like, what? He's like, you don't like it? I'm like, I don't. And he was like, you don't fucking have to like it. Like it's my life. And I was like, it is, man, but I know what it's gonna cause you.
yeah,
And I stayed sober. I saw what it did cause him, and it made me realize like all the bad shit I did, it was because I was fucking drunk, dude. I almost beat my dad to life. Like I almost put him in the hospital, fucking drunk. And like I've never even like talked back to my dad. So it's not I don't hate him. I don't hate my dad. It's just I feel that I just had a lot of like freaking bottled up emotions from just like fucking life. It's teenager or whatnot. And one time we were like, actually I remember it was during like a sober period, and it was my nephew's baptism, and had family over, and then cousins were like inviting me for like shots, and at first I was like no, but you know, just like Frank the Tank once it hits the lips.
yeah.
So yeah, I ended up drinking. So it was like a family event. We were drinking, and then at the end of the night, the party was over, people were gone. It was just me and my parents, and the neighbors. They drink with the neighbors and shit. They have their friends. And it was cool, man. We were actually like bonding, but you know, every at that point, everyone was had already been drinking for a long time. And during that conversation, like my dad was like saying that it started like bonding. Like he was saying like nice things, like yeah, freaking like I love him. You know, I never say it, but you know, he knows it, and you know, I know he loves me. But like, I also know that there's like shit bottled up, and one of these days it's gonna come out. And I was just like, nah, man. Like, what are we talking about? And he was like, yeah. He just like kept probing at it, and I was drunk, but I was also kind of like, I don't want to talk about shit.
Yeah.
But he just kept pressing, and then fucking all of a sudden I fucking flip. And I was like, just, yeah, motherfucker. And just fucking said shit. And like my mom was there. I was like, dude, you need to get your husband because I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck him up so bad. And then like freaking, he like got up, put his hands behind his back, and he was like, do it. And I'm like, still like, dude, just fucking go in. Like, just I don't want to do this. We're fucking drunk. But he just kept pressing at it, and then I just like went red. Just like beat the fuck out of him. I like freaking punched him, freaking ground and pounded him, cross collar choked him. He was fucking out. My cousin was there to pull me off of him. I'm still fucking kicking him. It was bad, dude.
And that's what made you just sober up.
That didn't even that didn't make me sober up. It was after that. But I'm just saying, like, that's one of the many things that happened because from drinking.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I got to the point. Oh, another reason why I would drink is I was, nobody believes this, but I used to be a really shy guy. Yeah, I was real shy, real freaking introvert and shit, and I would drink to like, you know, get that liquid courage to like talk and freaking dance and shit. But like every other fucking ranger, like once you start, you don't fucking stop till the alcohol's gone, and can't just get a light buzz and then, you know, so you just like keep going. But then I got to the point, I think from line dancing, that I just have a fun time sober. Like I don't need that social lubricant anymore.
Yeah.
So
which, by the way, a lot of people don't know, dude. How much you weigh again?
Between 205, 210.
210. So you're 210, jack like a motherfucker, just lifting all day, but on the fucking floor, line dancing.
Yep.
With a fanny pack.
With a fanny pack, dude. You, The Rock, Joe Rogan are the only ones who I know who can rock a fanny pack like that, and no one's gonna say shit, and nobody does.
Yeah, it's just so convenient, man.
Well, is that your only cardio?
It was my only cardio till I started fucking doing Jiu Jitsu. Now that shit's kicking my ass. Yeah, because I used to run. Like I said, like we swapped bodies pretty much.
Yeah.
When he was freaking huge, I used to run. I was doing Spartan races and was like a little fucking cardio bunny. I was lean and shit, but I wasn't big. And in the third bat gym back in my days, the gym had on the wall it said like get big and be somebody.
Oh yeah.
So I guess I've been fucking trying to get big and be somebody since then. And you know, looking at my memories on Facebook every morning, I freaking go through my memories because that's the only way I could remember my life, shit that I post.
Yeah.
And it's always like fucking going to the gym on Operation Get Big, and it was like 10 years worth of Operation Get Big, till I finally buy XL shirts now. I'm like, I think I made it. I'm big.
Yeah.
And I'm somebody. Like, people know me now.
Yeah. Bro, your sticker fucking is everywhere now. I mean, dude, it is. Of your face that, but you
talking about dick pics.
Yeah. So you then you sobered up, and then at one point you did psychedelics. Was that your first time?
My first time doing psychedelics was last September.
What'd you do? And what was that like?
I did acid.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so like I'm saying, I never tried drugs till my first edible at 31, and then I sobered up with like alcohol. I just don't like how alcohol. I don't like the person it makes me, and I don't like the aftermath. Like I don't like the fucking. I'm almost 40, so it's like fucking 3-day hangover. Like I don't.
Bro, you're almost 40. Bro, you look younger than me.
Yeah, man, I'm turning 38 in September.
Shit, dude.
So yeah, so that drug I already know. I tried it for a long time. I don't like it. I don't like it anymore. So all the other shit that I'm just starting to experiment with. Some I like, some I don't. Like I freaking tried coke for the first time in Missouri. I just did a bump, and it didn't do anything. Like I went to sleep. Like after the party was done, I just like went to sleep, and I was like, I don't know, it was a big deal. Like all the violence around this fucking powder, and like,
Yeah.
it doesn't even do shit, but like make the back of my throat
Bro,
feel
but
like
then
shit.
again, what people need to know is that you're a fucking tank, bro. You're like Ryan, dude. That he can drink and he won't feel it. He can do this or that, he won't feel it. And you're the fucking same way, dude. So maybe that amount of coke, I would have been up all fucking day. Eric and I would have been talking about business deals, how we're gonna do this business and that business, but dude.
So I thought about that. I did think that like, oh, all the way to fucking Missouri has probably been cut every which way. But then I was also, but this is my first time ever. Like it should. I thought everybody's chasing the first high. Like, and I don't feel like chasing this. But then I tried it again, in Cabo. And that time I did like 2 fat lines. And same shit, nothing. The day before I did it, sober as fuck. It was for a ranger wedding. Took some ranger buddies and his friends. We went clubbing and shit. You could have sworn I was on coke. Fucking life of the party, just partying it up, dude, hyping everybody up. Then the next day, I was like, I don't know if I could do that again, man. I'm kind of fucking tired. And then I was like, well, we're in fucking Mexico. This probably not. It's gonna be a lot better than the shit that I got in Missouri.
Yeah.
So I fucking did 2 lines. We went out. I was fucking bored. I was tired. I was bored. Freaking. I went with my girlfriend, and one of the wives wanted to leave. Like they were tired. I was like, yeah, man, let's fucking go. Like let's go to bed. So
Yeah.
the 3 of us left, and they stayed partying. But I was like, again, like I feel like it confirmed, like, yeah, I don't see what's the big deal about this. And then so like the time that I tried acid, I was at Las Vegas last year, so it's COVID. Everything's closed, lame as shit. One of my ranger buddies that was there, he had just tried it a few weeks earlier. I met up with him at a Gathering of the Clans, which is one of the East Coast events. I didn't know. Apparently, everyone was freaking rolling at that party except me. It's not that I didn't want to. Nobody offered me shit. But I didn't know this. Like everyone just seemed like they're just hanging out. Like nobody was doing anything stupid. I didn't know that he was rolling. So when he came, we got a hold of someone, a ranger buddy that lives in Vegas, and he got us some freaking party favors and shit. And I remember people would tell me to like, you're gonna get like go over just what I'm trying to say, like you're gonna get past like the demons. Like there's gonna be like on your trip, like there's gonna be the fucking demons, but just you're gonna be fine. And once you get past that, like you're gonna be on a good trip and shit. I had 0 negative freaking effects. I like freaking popped it. The only thing that I had was like I had clammy hands, so I was freaking walking around with a washcloth, just freaking doing this shit, drying my hands. And
meanwhile, they're dry as fuck.
maybe. So yeah, so I didn't have any fucking demons. I just had like the freaking like shit was moving. Freaking the Vegas Strip was alive, and
Did you talk to your girl? Because your girl was with
my
you?
girl wasn't with me that day,
Okay.
so she met up with me the next day. But so we walked the strip. Me and my ranger buddy, we like freaking walked the strip. Which would seem like fucking hours and hours and hours, and miles and miles and miles. But then once we got back to the hotel room, we were only gone for like 2 hours. So we were gone for 2 hours. Everybody else was already asleep. He goes to his room, and I'm just like assuming that he's asleep. I'm wide awake, fucking tripping balls. So I'm just like looking out at the balcony, just like watching the Vegas Strip be alive. Just, I was just like, this is cool.
And besides the visuals and stuff like that, did you think about anything? What were you thinking about?
Yeah, so I had like the visuals and shit, and then I like music, so I put my earphones in, start freaking jamming out to music. I was like, yeah, this just fucking was a good time. At some point during the trip, I just like became like overwhelmed with like love. Like I wanted to call my girlfriend and like tell her how much I love her. And like I don't say it to her as much as I should.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I demonstrate it. Maybe she feels different, but it needs to hear it more. But I wanted to call, like I just wanted to call her and freaking like tell her how grateful I am to have her and how much I love her and why I love her. And like I just had this overwhelming feeling of love. But I knew she was in Arizona for work,
Mm-hmm.
and by this time it was like 3 a.m. So I didn't want to wake her up. Plus, I couldn't fucking dial.
Yeah.
So so yeah, man. I was awake, and then she flew in the next morning. I picked her up, and like as soon as I picked her up, I was like, dude, let me tell you about last night. I told her about my trip, and then I told her about like all I wanted to do was freaking call you. And
Yeah.
and yeah, so that was. I feel like that's the only actual psychedelic trip that I've actually had. Cause like a couple weeks ago when I tried the shrooms with you guys,
Yeah.
I don't really feel much.
Meanwhile, him and I are fucking dying. You guys came to the open mat, right? We rolled, we got a fucking good rounds, and then we went back, had a cheese platter in my house with fucking mushrooms. And I saw Eric. I look over at Eric. So all the wives are with us. I look over at Eric, and Eric looks like it's hitting him. And then at one point, he puts his head in his arms, and I was like, Eric looks like he's dying. I'm like, and I'm feeling it. I'm thinking like, yo, I don't know, man. Maybe because he's tired or something. It really hit him real hard. You guys leave, and then, bro, it hits me so fucking hard, dude. I start fucking dying. I'm by the couch. I'm holding the cat. The cat goes away. Then I'm holding Aaliyah, and then look at the walls, and they're moving. And I was just like, bro, hold it together, hold it together. I was like, it's time to go to sleep. I look at the time. I'm not going to sleep. I feel very sensitive in my hands, so I can't go to sleep. Dude, I didn't go to sleep. What day was it that you guys came?
It was a Saturday. It was.
No, it was open mat, so Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because the
Dude.
fights were the next day.
I didn't fucking sleep at all. I think I went to bed like at 4 a.m. Yeah, because then we went over to your house.
The next day, yeah.
Yeah.
That Saturday.
And I remember I was fucking tired. That's why I took the nap.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, I didn't know where I was at. And then when we left your house, I was like, oh, dude, it's so beautiful where he lives, man. Where the fuck is this? It's still LA County, dude. I didn't even know that. But man, I mean, I think psychedelics is setting. Like, I was very interested in what you guys' experience was, not just the visuals, but because I've done coke, I've done weed. I smoke weed, and when I smoke weed, I would look at my surroundings when I was a gang member, and I would be like, man, like you and I are not the same. Like we're here together, but I don't belong here. I just don't. And you guys are trouble. Some of you guys know it too. I feel like you guys know it, and some of you guys are fucking lost causes. You guys are gonna end up in jail, overdose, or fucking dead. You're gonna get shot in the face, man. Which everything that I just said happened to some of them, a lot of them. And but with psychedelics in the setting, when I've never gone into psychedelics, been like, I just want to fucking trip and fuck. I'm always like, what is he gonna tell me, right? Because like you said, it you don't choose what you're gonna think about. Sometimes you stare at the wall, whatever. But like with psychedelics, I've never been like, I'm only gonna think about this. It just takes me to other areas, man. I remember one day I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna microdose. Meanwhile, I don't know what the fuck microdosing is. I was like, I'll just take this little one. It looks harmless. I take it, and Nelia goes to work because she's a lunch lady. She comes back like 5 hours later. She's like, oh, how'd your day go? I'm like, I've been laying on the floor petting the cat, and I've done no homework. I haven't studied at all the entire time. I take the kids to Jiu Jitsu class, and I'm just looking at my daughter, and I'm like, do you ever think you were gonna have a strong daughter like this? She was like, what the fuck? She's like, are you still on it? I was like, look at her. She's strong and so smart. Do you ever think you're gonna have a daughter like that? You being a female, like, what do you think about that? And she was like, this motherfucker. So I've always been like that, right? But psychedelics amplifies it, and I want to be a better human being. That's why I was very interested in. And if you guys have moments where you're thinking about things, whether that you normally wouldn't think about, and or do you vocalize it with people?
I think it makes it easier, right? To like, it kind of brings down that wall of like, we don't care a lot of times. It's like we don't care, or like it's not on our forefront of our thoughts. So it doesn't become a priority, like how you're saying, to say I love you or whatever. It's like because you show it. So it's not on the forefront. Like, oh, let me make sure I say it. But when you're like psychedelics or maybe even E or something, it kind of takes that down. When you just like that guard down, I guess,
Yeah.
maybe, and then it's a lot easier to like share your like your feelings. At least that's what I think.
Yeah, I did E too.
You did eat. Well, I've heard, not necessarily E, but what is it?
MDMA.
MDMA, right? That there's a couple therapies and stuff like that, and that it's good to do it together because you talk about things. And I didn't do that in a therapy setting with professionals and in an actual dosage. We just popped E and we were in Vegas, and that's when I was like, I remember being like, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get upset and I overreact and I fuck up the whole day and I'm sorry, and I'm grateful that you stuck around through all my bullshit. And then she's like, oh, I love you too. So like, they say do E together. I mean, I'm not saying do E, guys. I'm just saying that's what I mean.
I would recommend it.
I would recommend it, but don't do it. I'm not a doctor, so legally I'm not telling you to fucking do it. But psychedelics is the one where I think it's gonna be a game changer, guys.
I think so too.
But yeah, man, dude, like this conversation was cool because a lot of this stuff was stuff I wanted to just ask you guys in general that I haven't before, because we've all hung out and we've done the barbecue thing, the ranger panties at the beach thing, but the psychedelics and doing the jiu-jitsu together, and then the years of seeing each other, like, yo, this fool drove a fucking hour, and then I know he's got to drive an hour, and stuff like that. I think it made it a lot easier to ask these questions and see what's up. Because like before that, I knew you through him. 2016, you guys got this going on, and I never asked before what was it like before I got out. What did you guys go through? What is going on? I think what we're building is very strong, very it's powerful. We can't be the only ones feeling it. We know other people are feeling it, and you guys have been to the events. I'm glad that you guys are part of the event. It's going to get bigger. And I truly feel the group that we have with the dudes, with their companies, are the second wave of, because I consider the first wave, and they may not have all come out at the same time, but like the Matt Bez, the Jocko, the Tim Kennedys, David Goggins, like they're the first wave of dudes who got out and became very successful to the point where they don't have to do a job that they don't like, right? I think we have something like that going on. Like we're in the beginning stages, because there's successful companies out there, but they're very just into the cool guy thing, which we like. So there's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't. Sooner or later, the cool guy thing ends. The how many times can you like a picture and nods? How many times before you're like, that's cool, but what else, man? And then we are building a community, and connections and networks, and I that's what I wanted, dude. I've always been that way, and I consider you guys part of that. And you've seen me, like, we hang out with people that have no following, that are terrible shooters, but they're good people. So we invite them to the events, and I think together we can not only just grow each other as individuals, but we can become successful to the point where we are like those dudes who basically they're hard workers, but they're having fun. They're doing what they want to do, man. Like a fucking Thursday, right? Today's Thursday,
Yeah.
and we fucking rolled Jiu Jitsu, fucking took naps, watched
Good
Old
food.
School, ate some food, So and I think more of this is gonna happen. I want more of this, and so the dudes who get out just fucking fall through. Like just go in, get in line with us. And yes, you might have a struggle, but at least you know that you have a community already, man. And it won't be like when you got out or when you got out and there's like fucking nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh man, like seeing the difference from then to now, it's cool what he's doing with the Patriot Challenge and what you've done with the OG Pumpkin, man. It has substance, like substance or whatever. I know it's going to be successful, and it's cool to watch, man. It's cool to watch you do your thing, and I talk about you a lot to my friends. Me and Marisol actually talked about you after we left, maybe because I took the shrooms too. We were a little bit more open, but I told her, I was like, you know what? Angel gets it. Angel gets it. When you understand that someone's time is valuable, that's tremendous. I have friends that I've known for so long that I'll drive, 45 minutes, an hour to go see them. And the entire time they're scrolling through Instagram. I'm talking to them. It's like I haven't seen them in months. And it's like they're going through Instagram. It's like I didn't come here to watch you scroll through Instagram. It's like, man, my time's valuable. I drove a long way. And it's just some people only get kind of caught up in their own lives. And, it's like you don't want to give that person your time. It's like my time is valuable. I think everyone on this table has probably had, multiple friends pass. I've had a lot of military and civilian friends that I've lost, tremendous amount. So I know that time is valuable and important, and I don't know how much time I have. So I don't want to waste it with somebody or somewhere that doesn't value that,
Yeah.
So when we were talking, I was just telling her, like, man, he's going to do great things with this company. That the people that you have surrounded yourself with, man, like Jose and Khan and all those guys, dude, those are cool dudes. Like I'm like, man, like you really did a phenomenal job at, keeping good dudes around you. And it shows, man. Like every time I go to your events, it's like people are friendly. People will come up to you, talk to you, are welcoming. And it's like, it's not just military, it's the civilians that are around you, it's, I don't know how you do it, because that's a tough thing, man, to bring such a big group of different people together, and they're good dudes, and sometimes you get the dudes that make it through the cracks, but they don't stay very long, and you're pretty good at finding those people and removing them. But like I said, I'm just thankful for you and what you're doing with the OG Pumpkin. I want to spread the word, like, dude, buy Rash Guard shirts. It's like I see what it affects. A lot of times there's these charities like that. There's probably hundreds of veteran charities, right? And you can donate, and you probably don't know where that dollar is going to go, and you probably don't know how much of that dollar is actually going to reach somebody that needs it.
Yeah.
But I've seen firsthand, and I've even been affected by, the charities that he's involved with, Patriot Challenge and all they do for us and bringing us together. Like I wouldn't be successful in any way if I didn't have, these people in my life.
Yeah.
And they're able to do the things in the events through these things, and with you, it's the OG Pumpkin. And it's like, man, the events, like going shooting, it's like that, all that stuff is like a piece that I never thought I would get back, like that camaraderie, being with dudes that are kind of like-minded. And like I said, not just military, but civilian too, because some people aren't a part of that group yet, or some people, just regular Army, which is cool. But what you've created, I don't see dying anytime soon. I mean, dude, you got like 100 people that have tattooed that design. Like, that's crazy,
Dude,
bro.
So if you haven't heard like OG, because like sometimes people are like, yo, my friend told me just listen to you, I'm listening to you. So it's OG Pumpkin is the company, and off the designs, I was gonna do it myself, but one of the dudes one of the guys that I talked to and gave advice, he went to RASP, and then he fell asleep during land nav, so he got kicked out. But before that, he was killing it. So now he's in the regular Army doing good things. And he got it tattooed. And I remember I was like, bro, I was going to get an OG Pumpkin tattoo design, and you fucking beat me to it. And then, so it's just him and I posted the pictures. And then because people see what we're doing, then it became, and now we're sitting at 100, to be exact, 102, because people keep sending me pictures because they're like, I want it to be the 100th one. I set my appointment this week, and we're at 102 people who've gotten that tattoo design, ranging from special operation guys to regular Army guys to firefighters and cops. Even non-military people have just tweaked the art to what they do, dude. But I have to say, man, like a big portion of it was fucking seeing Dick make these events, whether people showed up or not. Because I remember there was one event, a lot of people showed up, and then a lot of event that like not a lot of people showed up, but Dick showed the amount of energy for all people, right? The small group and the big group. And then he did it again. So before OG Pumpkin, it was Dick, right? So when I started doing it at my house, because I was like, well, he's doing it, I should repay the favor. I've always been like that, just gathering people. But I'm like, well, now I'm on the outside. And Miguel, Miguel, I remember saying like, somebody asked me at the UFC fights at my house, like, oh, when's the next one? I remember being like, fuck, next one? Like, dude, there was a lot of work and money to make. Because I can talk about it freely now, but I was going negative into my accounts on the first or barely making my bills. And so there'd be like 3 UFC fights in the month. I'd be like, fuck, man. I was like, but I got to make it happen. But now it's amplified so much that we're hosting our last event. 400 people showed up. And then CJ from the Ramones played. But it all stemmed from watching Dick do his thing. And then when Miguel said, when somebody asked me, hey, when's the next one? I'm like, fuck. And Miguel's like, hey, man, sometimes you didn't intend to, but maybe you got to be the hub for this. And I was like, well, Dick is doing his thing. He's not too much into martial arts. I like martial arts. Maybe I'll just add to what's already happening. I didn't create the Southern California fucking Ranger gathering. No. That was Dick, in my opinion. All Dick. I'm not sure who was here before you. It was just you, right?
So it was like me, Matt Sanders, and Stephen Bell were the ones that created the Facebook group.
Okay.
But it was.
It's safe to say.
Yeah.
You organized everything, dude.
Yeah. So I just added to it, and the way I am and the thing where I was going, I just wanted more and more of it, and then people seeing it online, just it took fucking off. I don't see it ending, and like I've said before, man, besides rice and beans at my house, it's fucking extra. I've tried to fucking buy shit, dude. It does nothing for me. The limo I got, I don't even have fucking AC, but I was like, man, reversing is a motherfucker, dude. Like, I'm gonna get a camera, and then I got the system, and then I got the subwoofers, and then I got more speakers, and then that weekend, I think I went to go buy a skateboard and shoes, and then after a weekend of spending, I was like, but I'm not happy. Like, it made my life better, but I'm not happy. And then I went to go eat steak on a Tuesday with my brother, as I'm watching the line of cars go into the fucking food bank. And I was like, so I went to go give $1,000 of food to that food bank, because that's what gives me purpose, man. And I'm a big believer in community and purpose, and I've tried it, man. So like so the point of this is that as it grows, I want us to grow. I want us to be successful, like people, because even though you're not Dick didn't give me money. He didn't give me materials. He gave me time, and he showed me that sometimes you got to be the fucking hub for this, right? And you got to put your time and you got to put your fucking energy. I've been doing this since 2016. Dick's been doing this since when? 05?
2010.
2010.
I got out in 05.
Okay,
So
but
that's-
2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So you're double the fucking time. You know what I mean? So by no means is this a me thing. This is a us thing. It just happens to be that I'm the one who put the fucking company together. But now there's so many of us, and hopefully this helps people create it. And because not everyone's gonna be in SoCal. You know, some people are in Texas, some people are in Missouri or Virginia or whatever. Hopefully this conversation in many aspects that we're having here connects to people start their own, and if not that they already have something going on, amplify it even more.
Yeah.
Be like, look what they fucking have, or look where they started. Let's just fucking go, you know? Because there's a town somewhere in fucking Kentucky who may only have like 2-3 dudes where you started right now, and hopefully years from now they're fucking doing it big. You know what I mean?
Did you ever think that you were gonna call it, like you said in the beginning, right? Like you were doing this just to hang out with friends, you know, to get that. And little did you know that, like, that you were built, like, unknowingly at that time you were starting to build something that was gonna
Well, even
catch
even
momentum.
now, I don't really know it, man. Cause like I said, it's like to me, it's just like fucking hanging out, and I'm besides like fucking around, and be like, I'm kind of a big deal, but like I really. It's not until I hear it from all angles. Like, you know, I get a lot of praise for it, and so I do understand that it's making a good positive effect. But like I said, like to me, it just feels like, right, I'm not really doing anything. You know, Ranger Rendezvous, where everybody's asked like, what do you do? Like, what are you doing now? And I'm like, I don't do anything. I just work out and line dance. And
Which is a total understatement. And what
Yeah,
we
bro.
should fucking do is, we got a community going. I fucking help build this.
So Josh Kelly was jumping in. So yeah, Josh Kelly would like jump in every time. He would like jump in, and he's like, no. So he's the guy that like gets everyone together. Like he puts a lot of time, a lot of effort, and he makes shit happen. And I'm like, to me, it's just like, no, it's nothing to me. Like I really feel like it's nothing. But like I said, like it's not until I hear you saying all this and like Josh Kelly jumping in, like that I know it's a good thing. But yeah, like I didn't mean it. I just wanted to fucking hang out with friends, and yeah, man. So with that, like I'm kind of almost envious of you with what you've came up, because like I got out in 2005 and I didn't get the ball rolling until like 2011 to like the very first one to like what it is now. And when I see you and like your events, where they're at now, like you're able to fund your events yourself with the company that you've built and the community that you surround yourself with, like that's some good shit, man, because it took me a very long time to like freaking cut the fat off like my circle.
But you know what, man? You cut the fat, and then I jumped in and saw that. So I feel like that helped me, man. Like, so then I had no fat, because I'm like, well, look what he's doing. Look where he's at, because I didn't see anything before, right? So I see what is the standard that is set. So I was like, yo, first of all, I also feel every fucking day of my life, I feel like I'm cheating, because one, all my dead homies, the energy that I have for all our dead friends, because bro, there's wives right now and kids that they're not gonna get fucking hugged anymore. All right, that's over. And that pain, the childhood, war, being told that you're in special operations, you have to have a high standard, and then I have all that bottled into me that I want to use as fuel, as positivity, but I come out and I'm blind and I see you, well then I just fucking go. You know what I mean? But dude, if I didn't see, if I don't know where I would be honestly, if I came and there was fucking nothing, nothing. Like, where would I even start? You know what I mean? My first friend was Ryan, but Ryan took off because, we're all homies and stuff like that. But he went to USC, and then him is now fiance or in Seattle. So then I would be fucking, my only friend is gone, and then now what the fuck do I do? You know what I mean? So, um, it's a team effort, man. This is why I also like to have these conversations, because it is a fucking team effort, dude. And if people want to support specifically your next thing that you want to do, how would they do that?
Buy dick pics.
No, because the dick pics, I buy them. I buy them and hand them out. So the way you can support me is you'll see me once I restart my Patriot Challenge team.
When will it be?
So actually, I could start the team now and start fundraising, but I just haven't. The event is during the month of February.
Okay.
That's when I do the biggest push. But last year I kind of slacked a little bit, so this year I feel after the Veterans Day barbecue, I'm gonna I'm gonna have my team settled, establish my team in November, and then do a big push to donate to my team, because like I said earlier, anything over $1,000, half of that I could use to host these events.
And how are they going to reach you?
You're gonna see it on my social media, your social media.
And what is your social media?
Dick Loza at on Instagram, and Dick Loza on Facebook.
Just Dick Loza, no underscore.
Dick
anything?
underscore Loza.
Dick, okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna do the big push and try to do raise the most funds there, because it is you get a tax break. So I know towards the end of the year, if you need a freaking lower your little tax bracket, you could help me out.
Yeah.
We could help each other out.
And then if how would people reach you, man? If they want to shoot you a message or something.
They could find me on Instagram, doc_hold. I don't respond to or accept fake, like pages that, fake pages, whatever people set up. If it's a real page, then I'll accept it and answer any questions somebody has if they're having a tough time transitioning or whatever, or if they want to start jiu-jitsu.
And where do you train at?
I train at CIA Paulista in Foothill. I love my gym. I hope I want to stay there forever. That's another thing. If you start jiu-jitsu, it is important to check out a couple schools and make sure you find the best fit for you. Mm-hmm. Find a coach or a professor that cares about you as a person and not just your dues, and not just that they're good, because there's some good, phenomenal competitors that are just shitty people. Yeah. And I don't want to learn from someone like that. I mean, I'll learn jiu-jitsu, but I don't want to be under them, as someone I consider a mentor. And so who I'm training under right now is a great mentor and a good person and a phenomenal practitioner. So yeah, try to find a gym like that. I mean, I cross train in a lot of gyms. So if it's Monrovia is not in your area, I'm sure I know a gym in your area that is good. Where you train at's phenomenal people there too.
And I train at a classic fight team in Fountain Valley. And where do you train at?
I train at Gracie Baja in Riverside and Corona.
Okay, so that's pretty separated areas.
Yeah, we got a good little triangle.
If you live anywhere around there, go to any of those schools and come to the open mats. I want to give a big shout out, and people have been saying to have Benji from Thrash and Raid as a guest. Yeah, he will be the next guest, I believe. Tuesday? But his company's also a sponsor. It's Thrash and Raid. It's a skateboard company. He does a lot of good things for the community, and he's our first sponsor. So, thank you, Benji, and Thrash and Raid. Go check him out. Buy a skateboard, and if you don't skate, it can be nice wall art. And if you don't even want wall art, you can. He has an option there where you can buy a deck and/or a complete board for a kid in needs. Any kids that are in need of a skateboard. I've seen it. I've done it with him. So that does go to him. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. This is fucking. The whole day was fun. Training, choking each other out, taking naps, all this and that, man. Again, I appreciate spending the whole fucking day here. And as we grow, dude, I want our lives, our quality of lives to improve, and what we're doing already has. And fucking the sky's the limit, man. You know what I mean? I think we're in a really good time right now where we're gonna years from now be like, damn, remember the beginning? So I'm really glad you guys were the second episode, man.
No. Yeah. I want to say thanks too to all the people that support Angel and that buy his stuff and all the people that support the Derby Project and Patriot Challenge. I know my family has donated a lot. Every time I do a charity, they donate. All the people listening, I don't know who's listening, but thank you if you've ever supported Angel, because I have been I benefited directly from that, being around him and his circle and Loza and his circle and, kind of like our circle now all kind of coming together. And so thank you for everyone that supports Angel and Loza and it means a lot.
Yeah, man. Thanks. And not on acid or anything, but I love you guys,
bro. And he said he's like, I don't know how to talk, bro. It's easy, dude. It's normal.
Real quick before we take off, I think the word that kind of brings us everyone together here is camaraderie. So what does camaraderie mean to you guys?
Dude, making that sacrifice of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can give me materials and money, but fuck that, dude. When you give me the time, you're like, oh, this fool cares.
Yeah, man. I feel a lot of it has to do with just showing up. Showing up means a lot. Like the donations and stuff are cool. They make shit happen, but just like showing up and being there is what makes the memories that and makes you like closer. Like the reason why we're closer is because we do spend the time with each other.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would say, man, I could have time. The time that that people give you, the time that they give me, like doesn't matter the driving distance or who's gonna be there. Some people you invite somewhere and they'll say, oh, who's all going? It doesn't matter. Like if I invite these guys, like they're gonna say yes, I can make it, or no, I can't. But yeah, I would say time. Like they value my time and I value theirs, and genuinely care about each other.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening, and thank you for your support. Hope you like this episode.
Thanks, God. Rangers lead the way.